For today's video, I'm going to be going over the 2020 October Math No Calculator SAT section, and I'm going to go through each question and explain how to solve it. So starting with question 1, Tobias rented a kayak from a sport equipment store. For the rental, the store charged $60 per day, plus the $25 for delivery. If Tobias was charged a total of $325, for how many days did he rent the kayak? Alright, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take the total amount, 325, I'm going to subtract it by 25 because that's a standard thing. Delivery, it's a one-time fee. So I'm going to subtract that from 25 and we're going to get 300. So $300, and we need to find how many days. So since it's $60 a day, I'm going to do 300 over 60, and that's 5. So the answer is B. For question 2, which of the following is equivalent to the expression above? So all I'm going to do is add like terms. So 2xy squared plus 3xy squared equals 5xy squared. Positive 3x minus 8x is minus 5x. And negative 4 plus 4 is just 0. So this is the answer, so it will be A. For question 3, the function f is defined by f of x equals 3 to the power of x. Which is the value of f2 or f of 2? So it's 2, so I'm just going to sub in 2 for x. So we have 3 squared, which is 9. Here, the graph of f is shown according to the graph, which is the value of f of 0. Right, so f of 0, that's when x is equal to 0. So that is right here, negative 8. So the answer is B. Yep. The function h is defined above. For what value of x is h of x equal to negative 2? So all I'm going to do is set the left side of the equation as negative 2 equals negative 4 x minus 1 plus 2, right? I'm going to solve for x, so I'm going to distribute this here, or expand it, get negative 4 plus 2, right? And that's 4x equals 2 plus 4 plus 2, so 4x equals 8. Divide each side by 4, we get x equals 2. So the answer is D. Here, the equation above expresses the temperature C in degrees Celsius in terms of the temperature R in degrees Rankine. Which of the following expresses the temperatures in degrees Rankine in terms of the temperature in degrees Celsius? So for this, we're just going to rearrange. So we want to get R on this side. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have the fraction 5 over 9. So I'm going to multiply it by its reciprocal. And I'm going to do that to each side. So we'll get 9 over 5 C equals, and then 5 over 9 multiplied by 9 over 5. That cancels out and it's just 1. So equals R minus 491.67. Right, and we have negative 491.67. I'm going to add that to each side. So we're going to get 9 over 5C plus 491.67 equals R. So the answer is A right here. Here, a geographer found that the land area of Aruba is 75 square miles and the land area of Bermuda is 19 square miles. Based on these data, the geographer used this equation. I don't know why here shows, so I put the actual equation here. 75x plus 19y equals t. To estimate the total number of residents t of the two islands, which is the best interpretation of x in this context? Okay, so we're going to look through each answer and we're just going to eliminate. So it's not B, right? The square miles of Aruba, that's already 75. That doesn't give us what x equals to. The total number of both residents of both islands, so that doesn't really make sense, right? Because that's what t is supposed to be, not x. So that's not that. A, the total number of residents of Aruba, that doesn't really make sense because if we had the total number, right, we wouldn't have to have the 75 because we're trying to find the total number, combined between the two islands. So it's not A. So yes, it's the population density in resident per square mile of Aruba. Question 8. What is the sum of the solutions to the given equation? This is easy. To find the sum, it's negative B over A. So negative 1 multiplied by negative 12 over 1, so that's just 12. Here, in the right triangle above ABC, sine x equals 5 over 8. What is the value of cosine y? So in a right triangle, sine x is equal to cos y, right? So if it's 5 over 8, then cos y is 5 over 8 as well. They're equal. Question 10. In the xy plane above, if point F, which is not shown, is placed so the triangle ABC is similar to triangle DFE, which of the following could be the coordinates of the point F, right? So we have DE, right? So that should be equal to AC, right? So right here should equal this line here, right? So we'll find the slope, or like the length of AC, which is 1 over 3, so rise over run, you go up 1 and you go to the right 3. So here it's flipped, or it's reversed, so instead of going up 1, we're going to be going down, and we'll find that the slope here is 2, 6, so it's right here 6 over 2, or 1 over 3, right? So the scale is 2, or you just multiply it by 2. So now we need to find AB. So the slope of AB is rise over 1, 4, right? So 4 up, 1 to the right. So here we're going, instead of going 4 up, we'll go 8 down, right? Because the scale factor is 2, and instead of going up, we're going to go down. So from D, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And instead of 1 to the right, we're going to go 2 to the right, so 1, 2. So the point right here, and that is B, 4, negative 10. For 11, which of the following is the value of y in the solution xy to the system of the equation above? So we have the equations y equals x plus 3 and 2x minus y equals 0. So with the bottom one, right, I'm going to do 2x, and we're given y is equal to x plus 3, so minus x plus 3 equals 0, right? And that equals to 2x minus x minus 3 equals 0. So x is equal to 3. But we're not solving for x, right? We're solving for y. So we need to plug 3 back into the first equation. So y equals 3 plus 3, which is 6. So the answer is D. On to question 12. The function a of t models the number of liters of a fluid in a tank after t hours. Which of the following models the number of liters of the fluid in the tank after n minutes? Right, so now we're trying to convert minutes or hours to minutes. So when we have this, right, the trick that I like to use is if we plug in 60 wherever m is, right, it should be equal to 1, right, because 60 m should equal to 1t, right, because there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So the ones that don't equal 1, so like D and B, we can get rid of. And now we need to know where minutes place, right? So I guess we can just use some logic here, right? Like if you want to find 1/6 of an hour, right, we'd go 10 minutes over 60, right? So m should, based off logic, go on the top. It doesn't really make sense for it to go on the bottom, right? So we can cancel that one out, and the answer is C. For question 13, in the given equation, k is a constant. If the equation has exactly one solution, which of the following could not be the value of k? So this is kind of easy. Just if each side of the equations are exactly the same, that means they have an infinite amount of solutions. So if we have 3x plus 8 equals kx plus 8, that means k cannot equal 3, right? That means there's thousands of solutions it could be. So the answer is C, because it's what could not be the value of k. Here, how many solutions does the equation, this equation have, right? So what we can do is we can just distribute. So x squared minus 4x equals x squared minus x plus x, so that's just the x cancel, then minus 1. Right, these x squares can cancel out, right, because if you add or subtract, well, if you subtract x squared from each side, they're going to cancel. So we have the equation negative 4x equals negative 1, And if you divide each side by negative 4x, we're going to get x equals 1 over 4. And that means we only got one solution, right? We didn't have two possible values of x. So the answer is just 1. For 15, if n is a positive integer, which of the following is equivalent to the expression above, right? So 2 over 2n equals n 2 and n over 4, right? Because when you have a fraction, the denominator can go like right here, and the numerator goes inside the root. So this is equal to that, and it's multiplied by n3, and since they have the same root, or they're divided by the same root, we can just multiply whatever inside and keep the base the same. So we're going to get n 12, right? 3 multiplied by 4 is 12, so the answer is D here. Let's go to question 16. Several values of x and their corresponding values of y are shown in the table. A linear equation that represents the relationship shown in the table, x equals k, where k is the constant. What is the value of k? Well, here we see here that x is equal to 2 in all of these. So if x is equal to 2, x is equal to k. So the answer is 2. If 12x plus 6 equals 4x plus 8, what is the value of x? Let's subtract 4x from each side. So we're going to get 8x plus 6 equals 8. And now we're going to subtract 6 from each side. So we're going to get ax equals 2. Right, divide 8 from each side. We're going to get ax equals 2 over 8, which is 1 over 4. That is the answer, 1 over 4. All right, for question 18, we have in the figure triangles ABC and DBE are right triangles. What is cos B, right? So here cos B is, SOHCAHTOA. So SOHCAHTOA, right? We're going to use this. Cos, so it's adjacent over hypotenuse. So A over H, right? So cos B, that means it's going to be BC over AB, right? So let's first try and find the scale factor for the triangles DBE and ABC because they are congruent. So we have 8 and 12, so I'm going to divide that, and we're going to get the scale factor of 1.5, right? And now we're trying to find BC, so I'm going to use 6 right here, so BE, and 6 multiplied 1.5 is equal to 9. So we have BC is equal to 9, and we're going to do 10 multiplied by 1.5 of the scale factor. We're going to get 15. So that means AB is 15, right? And SOHCAHTOA is 9 over 15, right? And that can be simplified into 3 over 5, right? Divide each by 3. And the answer will be 3 over 5 right here. Okay, here. A system of two linear equations has no solutions. The graph of one of the equations in the system is shown in the xy plane. The second equation in the system is ax minus y equals 1, where a is a constant. What is the value of a? So first I'm going to put this into slope-intercept form to make it easy. So we're going to get y equals ax minus 1, right? And since they have no solutions, that means their slopes are the same and their y-intercepts are different. So we see that the y-intercept here is 4 and negative 1. So now we just need to find the slope, and we can just do rise over run. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 over 4, or we can use the change in y equals change of x. So 4 minus 1 over negative 4 minus 0. 0 minus 4, and we're going to get 5 over 4 as well. So that means a is equal to 5 over 4. That is the answer. For the last question, question 20, we have for the exponential function, the table shows some values of x and the corresponding values of f of x. The function can be written in the form f of x equals p multiplied by r to the x, where p and r are constants. What is the value of r? Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is when x is 0, f of x equals 9, right? So I'm going to do 9 equals p r 0, right? Anything to the power of 0 is 1, right? So this kind of just cancels out and becomes 1. So that means 9 equals p. So now we found what p is. P is equal to 9. So I'm going to move on to this right here. I'm going to use that. So when x is equal to 1, f of x is equal to 12. So we have 12 equals 9, because we found that p is equal to 9, or 1, right? Anything to the power of 1 is itself. So this kind of just, we can forget about that. So 12 equals 9r. Solving for r, we're going to get 12 over 9 equals r. Simplifying that, r is equal to 4 over 3, and that is the answer.